Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Goblin Slayer episode review for you guys for season 2. As now we get what I'm talking about. We get the Goblin slaying in this week's episode. Again, like I said, last week's episode was kind of a reintroduction to the series. Again, if it's been a while since we got Goblin Slayer, but just watching this episode was really good just to see our characters slaying the goblins again, as well as we kind of get a very emotional like ending to the episode, just from like the freaking wizard, the young wizard. Like, I was actually freaking shocked, and that's actually shocking for the priestess and as well as Goblin Slayer, because we find out at the end of the episode, basically, the reason why, the young wizard doesn't like, goblins all this much, and why he wants to kill goblins is because he had an older sister that ended up dying due to a poison dagger to these goblins and everything. And that same wizard was the same chick we saw at the start of the series in season 1, episode 1, in the priestess original party, and his sister ended up dying because of it. And basically, like, the dude says like his sister's name got slandered and everything for that, and she got made fun of, and it was just kind of like crazy because you see the look on the priestess face like, oh wait, I knew her. So you have to wonder if the priestess will eventually tell the young wizard, hey, I was in the same party as your sister, I knew her, and she ended up dying. Luckily, I got out of there. So maybe that might have some. So, and we know in this episode, he ends up gaining much more of a respect for the priestess and everything that she has done, that she basically did in this episode. You have to wonder if maybe if the priestess brings this up, will he lose that respect for the priestess, saying, why didn't you save my sister? You just ran away and did nothing. And also, we get the take on the Goblin Slayer side, because we know he lost his family members, mostly his sister, to a goblin, and he basically took it pretty damn hard when he found out, like, oh, this kid had an older sister that died to goblins. And we know, like, even though his whole mantra is to kill goblins and everything, you can clearly see that in his case, it's a guy that has a lot of wear and tear, and you clearly see at the end of the episode, this news being revealed to him eats him up, because he hates hearing people losing somebody they care about just strictly due to a goblin. And it also goes to show you that, he can't save everybody. Even though he does slay goblins, he can't save everybody from them. And it's actually kind of quite a sad damn shame, and to the point the guy was like, I think he was like throwing up at the end of the episode. But you feel for the Goblin Slayer, because he feels like he takes this huge responsibility to slay the goblins, yet when he finds out, oh, somebody dear to me died, it clearly gets him very emotional and choked up. And even the one guy that's kind of been like the dude he's been butting heads with, he kind of asked like if he was okay and everything. And clearly at the end of the episode, you could see that, like, clearly the Goblin Slayer was shaken up, and everything. So yeah, but overall this episode was really damn good. I really enjoyed like the action in this episode. Like, it just reminds me back of the season 1 days, where sometimes we have it to where they go into the dungeon with these goblins, and they have to find a way to like outsmart these goblins, because again, these goblins in this world are very damn smart, in terms of like setting traps up and ganging up on adventurers. Like, you have it to where clearly the wizard, he was kind of basically like, I guess you could say, trying to rush in combat, because again, this is like his first combat mission in terms of handling goblins. So, honestly, I was thinking like, oh, this dude's gonna die and he's gonna understand, like, the whole F around and you'll find out type of stuff right here and there. And you have it to where it's like, you see the differences of how the party, the Goblin Slayer party handles things compared to him, and he kind of rushes into things to like try to save people. Like, for example, when he opens the one door and he just sees this like bunch of blood and gore dropping down right at his feet. He screams, which alerts the goblins, like, okay, they fell for a tree. He fell for a trap. And then obviously you have it to where the acolyte girl, who was like damn near tortured by these goblins as a trap setup, obviously he goes running to try to save her. And even though the other group's like, hey, you need to hold on and wait a bit, dude almost gets himself killed. Basically, going into basically kind of a horde with goblins, and I forgot I think it was like an orc or something, as the creature. But it was pretty crazy to see, like, okay, how are they gonna get out of this situation? And just to see like the fluidity of how the party operates and just the planning that goes into it and the quick decisions they have to make. That obviously gained a respect for the young wizard, for the priestess, in terms of the on-the-fly decisions she has to make. The priestess had to make. Now there was some hesitancy at some points with the priestess, and you even have it to where the elf basically said, like, hey, listen, don't get so down about it. It's it was your first time making pretty crucial decisions and everything, so I won't blame you one bit. So you have to wonder if she's gonna eventually, like, I guess as the season goes on, you have to wonder if she's gonna be like kind of the strategist in the party. I watched Don Machi, how not to, what is it, something, Don Machi, how not to take girls into a dungeon or whatever. You have to where Lily, who's basically kind of like, she's basically kind of like their strategist, basically. So you have to wonder if the priestess is going to be the strategist going forward instead of the Goblin Slayer. And she's going to be the one coming up with the plans, like how to handle these situations that they're in, which would actually give her some pretty damn good character development right then and there. So you have it, I thought it was pretty cool with also how they took down the gigantic orc basically as well. Basically, you have it to where, like, obviously earlier, the young wizard, he ended up like putting like a fire spell that ended up burning his face. And then when they're cornered into this room, basically, you just have it to where Goblin Slayer basically is like, hey, use your holy light, have the rain, he tells the dwarf, hey, summon rain clouds, basically. And then, he got this idea where basically by doing that, he puts, like, I forgot what it was, the element he was using, but he uses this element that ends up actually freezing the orc and making it to where the damage is being a lot more done, and it helps them end up taking it down, which actually pretty crazy smart. And he said like he found that out on the fly or something like that from somebody. But it was a pretty cool way to take down that monster right there. And obviously too, again, the wizard, he said he respects the priestess for everything that she had to do, but he doesn't respect the Goblin Slayer because all he cares about is killing goblins and not other monsters. So you have to wonder where that's gonna go in terms of their relationship. But a really damn good episode of Goblin Slayer. Really did enjoy it. This is the shit I was like waiting for, and I was so excited to see. All right, what are they gonna do when they're in a dungeon situation where they potentially get themselves in trouble? How they get them out of this situation. But again, you also see the inexperiences of the wizard in terms of handling goblins compared to the Goblin Slayer and his party on how they handle it and things like that. So great episode, can't be mad about it. And again, just happy that Goblin Slayer's back. But anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Goblin Slayer content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe up there. Peace.